The creative aspect of Break for Change is an integral part of the programme. It gives young people an alternative way to explore some of the things they're learning in the therapeutic session beforehand, and really another way to express themselves around the issues. It really embeds the learning that they're doing in quite a personal way. The session they've just come out of, there's a lot of talking, and what we do in this session is use lyric writing, street art and design, music production to give them different mediums to take the things that they've just learnt and put them into another form that helps them actually to process and understand that and actually affects their motivation to change.
How about you? What are the things that make it difficult in your house?
What time I have to be home when I go out with my friends?
Okay, so people call that a curfew, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold up, so you're saying that you're allowed out till 11 on the weekend, and sometimes you'll come in late, about 12 or 1, is that right?
Yeah.
And what happens then?
Well, sometimes I come in at 12 or 1, but sometimes if I realise that it's gone past when I'm meant to be in, I just don't bother coming back at all. Because I think she's going to moan regardless, so I might as well just stay out for the whole night.
And she'll probably be staying up, like waiting for you.
Yeah, she'll be calling and stuff, but I just turn my phone on silent.
And how do you reckon that makes her feel?
Oh, I don't know.
So,
she knows that I'll be fine.
and by the time you see her the next day, how have things gotten by then? Have they gone like really crazy,
Yeah,
or have they chilled out a little bit?
She was going nuts saying that she was worrying and stuff like that.
Do you think, not being funny, but do you think you would go nuts if you had a kid?
Yeah, probably.
Or even if it was just a mate ignoring your calls and you were calling them and calling. Yeah, like if your friend hasn't come back or isn't getting in touch with you, you're phoning and texting, she's not responding, you probably feel similar.
Yeah, actually, sometimes my little brother comes out with me. And if my little brother comes out with me, he has to be back earlier, obviously, because he's younger. I always make sure that he's back on time. Or if he's meant to be meeting somewhere, I'll go mentor him if he doesn't turn up on time, because I worry about if he's okay.
So, from what you were saying right there, you kind of know what it feels like from the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
You've got your own experience of that with your little brother. So, in fact, you feel like you got care for your brother. And this is... And you were saying if your brother's late somewhere, doesn't turn up somewhere, you go wild, don't you?
Yeah.
What sort of thing might you do if your brother was late? How would you let him know that this wasn't cool?
I'd probably shout at him.
Okay.
Get really cross and stuff. Start shouting at him. Because I'd be angry.
Okay, alright. So what we're going to do now is we got this bunch of stuff that we've talked about. And can you see how it makes it more useful to suddenly put things up? Because you've just got a choice of like loads of different things that you can take on. You can we can start off with situations here and say, all right, yeah, it's about everybody, and then we can go off into each one of your individual situations and so say how it relates to you. Now we've got all our stuff here. We've got the things that we talked about, and this is our kind of raw material for putting a song together. Because when you're writing a lyric, writing a rap, a poem, you're starting from a feeling. You're starting from something that's real, because that's what will come out the best in a song at the end. People could feel it when the stuff you're saying is about real life and about real experiences that you've had. So, scribbling up the alphabet. Now, this is especially to make people good at rhyming. I've used the alphabet since I was about like 16 to just find as many words as rhyme as possible. Can anyone tell me how the alphabet might be useful for that? How do you reckon it would help us to rhyme?
If you think of a word for a letter, then you think of it for every single letter and see if it rhymes.
How do you mean? Can you give me an example? Like I've written dog over here in anticipation.
Yeah, then you could have like bog.
Right. So you're like scribbling them out as you go along, right? So you got dog on the bog. It's really important to have as many words that rhyme for you to see the options that you can use when you're writing a song. Because if all you've got is love, dove, and above, then you're going to write the same love song that's been written for like hundreds and hundreds of years. But if you've got like loads of different words, then you can take your song in whatever direction you want. It's about you having the power and not letting the rhymes beat you by them always taking you down the same routes that everyone else always has before. So, we're going to take some of the situations that we've been talking about here and start constructing them into some basic lyrics. I want 4 bars, I think. So, from what we've got scribbled up here, what do you guys want to start with? What's the thing that sort of catches your attention the most?
Being late.
Being late. Okay, so let's start it along this little flow chart that we've got going on here. So should we start with the word curfew over here?
I think that's quite a strong word.
Yeah.
Has a strong feeling in me when I hear it. All right, so what I'm thinking is maybe this should be the last word in a sentence. So I guess we need the words that lead up to it, that tell us what the situation is. How are we going to put it, do you think?
What we saying that I get angry if I get a curfew. It makes me mad if I have a curfew.
Okay, so it makes me angry. Which do you reckon is better, angry or mad? Out of this?
Angry.
I'd go for angry as well, just because when people say angry, it makes me think of someone
Such a
angrier.
strong word.
Yeah. Have a curfew. Okay, you can see as a rhyme word over there, we've got curfew. Now don't worry too much about the ooh, like it doesn't have to be bird flu or whatever. But as long as you rhyme with the few there, then that's all good. So can you think of anything that has that U sound to it,
Like we have different points of view.
angry when I have
Like me and my mum obviously have different points of view about what time I have to be in.
a curfew. So I love that points of view thing. I'm gonna put that as the end of the line there. So points of view. So we need the words that lead up to that, which is great. It makes me angry when I have a curfew, something, 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 points of view. What's the something, something?
Sometimes I wish we didn't have different points of view.
Hold up, so are we going to kill points of view and we're going to, sometimes I wish I could agree with you. Is that what you
Yeah,
thought?
for now. We could always use points of view later.
That's a very good point. Excuse me, spidery right here. Pace is like, it makes me angry when I have a curfew. Sometimes I wish I could agree with you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Can you clap in between? Because it helps.
It helps you, does
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I'm hitting the one of
Yeah.
the bar with my clap. So, do you want to come up here and do a kind of back and forth type of thing? Like,
Excuse me?
if you guys go and stand here, and you're saying all the words that are underlined, and I'm saying all the ones that aren't, then we'll have a sort of back and forth call and response type of thing.
Come on.
Do you fancy a bit of that?
Okay.
Did you get it up?
So we need to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it?
Are you doing it?
Do you need me to come up with you?
Yeah.
Go on, give them some support over there. But you're going to be the end of the sentence. You've got curfew, you've got agree with you. So you've got to be even stronger than I am. I'm just the flickery rhythm. You're the power. So we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to clap on the one of every bar just so we can feel the rhythm underneath. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes me angry when I have
Curfew.
Sometimes I wish I could
Agree with you.
Yeah. It makes me angry when I have a
Curfew.
Sometimes I wish I could
Agree with you.
It makes me angry when I have a
Curfew.
Sometimes I wish I could
Agree with you.
Yeah. That was really lively what you guys came with there. And you were definitely as loud as I was. So this is the first step of the process. We got some lyrics that we've written here today. Next week, put them all down. We're going to record ourselves through microphones in the little studio in there, record them all over beats, and we're going to have a CD for each of you guys to take away at the end of the
That's
session.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it.
So we got this super posh mic that we're gonna make a song out of. Now, the way we're gonna make a song is just by finding random objects around the room and sampling them through this mic and making them into a beat. So, tell me what we can find. Go and find some stuff around the room.
Anything that makes noise.
Yeah, just smack
Anything.
the wall, like stomp your feet, whatever you fancy. Nice. Be careful with that though. What are you going to do with that then?
I can make it part. Like this.
To collect respect, you need your intellect.
By protecting people, you elect the after effect.
Nobody's perfect, but you can't neglect.
You got to accept, connect with your prospects. Connect with your prospects. You got to accept, connect with your prospects. You got to accept, connect with your prospects. You got to accept.
And we do stuff for selfish reasons.
Use local practitioners working with young people in your area.
To elect the after effect.
Elect the after effect. Oh! Do you know what that means? Elect the after effect. So what you've just said is to choose the after effect. What's going to happen after this? It's your choice, kind of thing.
The creative aspect of Break for Change has been an incredibly powerful and successful part of the programme. If you're thinking about setting up your own project, consider how using a creative approach could help your participants to get the most they can from the programme. Don't feel like you need to replicate exactly what you've seen here. There's loads of creative activities that would work for this context. Find out who else in your area, artists, practitioners, projects are working with children in challenging circumstances, and ask them how they'd approach this in partnership with you. You can always get in touch with us here at Break for Change for advice, or perhaps we might know someone in your area that we could put you in touch with too.